We want to get your take on what's going on with Kirk. I know you're Mr. Positive, and you thought that something, you're not the only one. You thought that something would happen before the deadline. Of course, it didn't.
Well, I did, but Joe thought so like 5 minutes before still.
Yeah. Give us your take on everything leading up to it, and then obviously the aftermath of him having to play under the tag again for the second consecutive year.
After there was no response from Kirk's camp after May 2nd, and Kirk basically has said there really wasn't any amount of money I think the Redskins could have offered him, unless it was just like crazy, crazy money, that he was going to sign a contract. He wants to play under the franchise tag. He wants to see what happens next year. And that was the choice that they made. And so, from his perspective, he played under the tag last year, had a great year. I think the Redskins will be a very good football team this year. The division's tougher, but I think we got better. And, it sort of goes hand in hand. If the Redskins do well, that means Kirk has done well. If Kirk does well, the Redskins will do well. So the two of them are going to, march in sync as far as the year goes. But, there's two reasons why you don't respond in negotiations. One, you don't want to be there. Or two, that you want to take a look at what's down the road. And I've spoken to Kirk on a number of occasions. He wants to be a Redskin. He'd like to be a Redskin. But now it's a pure business deal. That's what it is. I mean, it's a business deal.
Right.
He's saying, look, I can play, and I can bring other suitors in now. I can get other teams involved in bidding for my services. Ultimately, he could still wind up being a Redskin.
Right.
I would think that might happen.
I think it's possible, too.
Mr. Positive.
But part of it is because he's so able to diffuse everything. I'm not expecting Joe Theismann to criticize the Redskins. I'm really not. But when they go out and they make these statements, and really designed in a lot of ways to make Kirk look bad, No.
As a matter of fact, Kirk was fine with the release what the Redskins did.
I know. I heard what he said. He diffused it so well. But not everybody would take it as well as he did.
Well, yeah, but not you wouldn't necessarily do it with other individuals.
Maybe so. You might be right. But here's the thing, Joe, and that's fine. But here's the question I want to ask you is I think in years past, I think that we could have gotten a deal done even though it was very difficult with the tag involved. The tag really complicated it. The Redskins want to get, a good deal. And Kirk wants to get the maximum he can, cash in while he can. He's got a short career. So it made it very difficult, right? But I think in years past, Dan would have just paid. But I think Bruce has been the impediment in this whole thing because he's the one being so sort of financially responsible. That's the way it seems to be on the outside looking in. Why does Bruce have so much control? Why does Dan trust him so much?
How many years ago has everybody said Dan Snyder spends money, Dan Snyder's done this, Dan Snyder's done that? Now all of a sudden, Dan has basically let Bruce run the operation. Eric is in charge of the money part of it. So, now, and Doug is responsible now for a lot of the personnel aspects of it. Dan has allowed people he's delegated and allowed people to do a job inside the organization. And now, the question is raised, well, why is Bruce doing this? Bruce basically made an offer to Kirk. Got no response back whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think, and Kirk said, there isn't an amount of money that Bruce could have offered Kirk for Kirk to take the deal.
Not right now.
So but see, the window I think was missed a year ago.
Correct. Right.
That's where the window was to get a deal done at a reasonable rate. What's a reasonable rate? I mean, you guys are getting 25, 26 million. Aaron Rodgers for the last 3-4 years has gotten $22 million a year. Drew Brees back in 2012, I believe, was at $20 million. It's crazy money, but that's what the market is bearing.
Joe,
but I think that the Redskins, here's your answer. The Redskins also have to deal with probably 15 unrestricted and restricted free agents coming up next year. Now Kirk is another one. Remember, you've got Terrell Pryor on a one-year deal. You've got, I think, Bashard Breeland's contracts coming up.
Yeah.
And there are a number of other guys. So when you're looking, as Bruce, looking at the head of the organization, I just can't focus on signing Kirk because I'm trying, it's not this isn't a tennis match or a golf match. There's a lot of other people involved that are going to require money for us to be able to keep our football team going forward.
But the question, Joe, is why does he trust? What is it about Bruce that attracts him to him so much beyond the last name and the family heritage and the relationship he's having? Like, what is it about that relationship that makes it so special? I'm curious. I don't know.
I think Dan feels that Bruce does a good job managing the operation. I mean, you look at the last 3 years, we've added some really quality football players. And the organization continues to build on a foundation. It isn't a snap of the finger and all of a sudden you have what you want. I think the Redskins have built the way they want to build going forward so that there's stability. And now next year is going to be a great challenge economically. Who do you keep? Who do you let go? Who do you offer money to? And if Kirk would have been able to sign, they would have been able to budget what they want for the next years with other people. Now Kirk's in the mix, changes the budget.